Chosen one, stop. Do not scroll past this. I am not asking, I am warning you. What I am about to reveal was sealed in the throne room of heaven until this exact second. If you leave before the end, you will miss the one divine instruction that could determine the next decade of your life. Heaven did not interrupt your moment to entertain you. Heaven interrupted to reassign you. God Himself dispatched this message to your screen because there is a mandate on your life that can no longer wait. And if you ignore what is about to be spoken, what was meant to accelerate, you will pass you by. You did not find this message. This message found you. This is not coincidence. This is divine appointment. Out of millions scrolling right now, heaven selected you, not because you are perfect, but because you are trusted. God has evaluated your capacity and found you reliable. He has measured your faithfulness and found you ready. That feeling in your chest right now, that sudden weight, that inner stirring, that will not let you look away, that is not anxiety, that is confirmation. Heaven has been watching you, and heaven says your season of waiting for clarity is officially over. Your assignment has arrived. Before we go further, if your spirit confirms this word, act on it now. Like this message as your agreement with heaven. Subscribe so you do not miss the next prophetic instruction God releases through this channel. Drop your city and nation in the comments so we can see where the remnant is rising across the earth. And to those who are supporting and sowing into this ministry, whether through the link pinned in the comment section or super thanks, understand this: you are not just supporting a message, you are partnering with a mandate. Your seed is a prophetic yes that says, God, I accept the reassignment, and heaven honors that covenant. Now stay with me. Do not scroll away, because in the next moments we are going to expose what this divine reassignment actually is, why heaven made it non-negotiable, and what will happen in your life when you finally obey. Chosen one, heaven has seen your silent battles. God knows about the confusion that has weighed on you for months. The feeling of being busy but not purposeful. The exhaustion of doing everything right but still feeling misaligned. He recorded every night you lay awake wondering why the doors were not opening, why the breakthrough kept stalling, why the prayers felt like they were hitting the ceiling and falling back down. Heaven knows about the financial pressure that drained you while you were still trying to find your footing, the bills that multiplied while your clarity decreased, the jobs that paid your rent but starved your calling. God saw every betrayal, the people who smiled at your face while speaking death behind your back, the ones you trusted with your vision who used your vulnerability as ammunition, the relationships that promised loyalty but delivered devastation. He knows about the health battles you fought in silence, the symptoms that doctors could not explain, the chronic fatigue that became your normal, the anxiety that ambushed you at 3 a.m. when no one was watching, the depression that whispered you would never find your purpose. Heaven documented every tear you shed while watching others succeed in the very thing you knew God called you to do, the jealousy you hated yourself for feeling, the confusion of knowing you were made for more but not knowing when more would arrive. You carried the weight of a calling no one around you could see. You tried to explain your vision to people who did not have the spiritual vocabulary to understand it. You sat in rooms full of people and still felt utterly alone because no one could touch the depth of what God placed inside you. You questioned God in the dark. You whispered prayers that felt like they dissolved before they reached the ceiling. You smiled in public while dying inside, and the worst part was the confusion. Not knowing if you were being punished or prepared, not knowing if the silence meant God had abandoned you or was about to surprise you. Chosen one, Hear this with your whole spirit. You were never abandoned. You were never forgotten. You were being reinforced for something so significant that heaven had to guard you in a season of pressure until the timing was exact. You thought no one noticed, but the Father recorded every single moment. And today, heaven says enough. Do not skip this. What comes next is the revelation your spirit has been waiting for. Chosen one, listen with your soul, not just your ears. Many people think reassignment means correction. They assume that when God shifts their role, changes their focus, or increases their responsibility, it is because something went wrong. But in the kingdom, reassignment does not mean demotion. Reassignment means trust. God does not give heavy assignments to people He does not trust. He does not place serious responsibility on those who are unstable. When God reassigns you, He is saying, you have proven faithful where you were. Now, I can trust you with more. That is why the weight feels heavier. That is why distractions feel more dangerous. That is why comfort no longer satisfies you. Greater oil requires stronger structure. Greater influence requires deeper roots. Greater assignment requires a stronger inner life. God is not rushing you. He is reinforcing you. What you are sensing right now, the pressure, the urgency, the inner stirring, is not confusion. Confusion scatters. This feeling is focused. It has direction, it has weight. It is purpose knocking from the inside, asking to be released at the right time and in the right way. There is a reason your tolerance for distraction has changed. There is a reason certain things no longer fit. There is a reason comfort feels less appealing than clarity. God is recalibrating you for what is next, not punishing you for where you have been. Pay close attention to this part. Heaven is now releasing 7 divine instructions for this season of reassignment. Do not skip a single one. Each instruction carries a specific promise and a timeline attached to it. The first instruction. Heaven declares your season of scattered focus is over. God is narrowing your assignment to one thing. God says, from this point forward, there is only one job. Seasons change when assignments change. The reason distractions feel heavier lately is because they are no longer allowed to travel with you. What used to be optional has become illegal in the spirit. What you tolerated before will now delay you. Heaven is not asking for balance. Heaven is demanding obedience. This is not about doing more. It is about doing what God said, without negotiation, without delay, without excuses. Luke 12:48 declares, to whom much is given, much will be required. This scripture is not a warning meant to scare you. It is an explanation meant to steady you. Increase always comes with expectation. Favor always carries responsibility. Elevation always demands maturity. Within the next 21 days, God will make your specific assignment so clear that the fog of the past season will dissolve completely. You will know exactly what He is calling you to do. Not because someone told you, because His voice will be undeniable. Do not skip. The second instruction is even more personal. The second instruction, heaven is commanding you to kill every distraction that competes with your calling. Jesus whispers to your spirit, you cannot carry destiny with divided attention. Distractions are dangerous, not because they are loud, but because they are familiar. They blend into your routine. They feel normal. They do not announce themselves as threats. They slowly pull your attention away while convincing you that nothing is wrong. Some distractions are people you love. Some are habits you tolerate. Some are cycles you keep revisiting because they feel safe. But safety is not the same as obedience. Comfort can become a cage when it replaces conviction. Familiarity can become bondage when it keeps you from moving forward. Luke 9:62 confirms, "No one who puts a hand to the plow and looks back is fit for service in the kingdom of God." Looking back does not mean sinning. It means hesitating. It means splitting focus between what God is calling you into and what He already told you to leave behind. Within the next 14 days, God will expose the primary distraction that has been silently draining your purpose. When He reveals it, do not negotiate, do not delay. Obey immediately. The speed of your obedience will determine the speed of your breakthrough. Hold on, there is more. The next instruction is the one the enemy did not want you to hear. The third instruction. Heaven is demanding immediate obedience, not eventual agreement. God says, "I am not moved by how loud you pray. I am moved by how quickly you obey." Delayed obedience weakens spiritual authority. Partial obedience limits spiritual impact. What you delay today does not disappear. It compounds. Small delays turn into long detours. Quiet compromises turn into loud consequences. Luke 6:46 asks, "Why do you call me Lord, Lord, and do not do what I say?" This question is not harsh, it is honest. Lordship is proven by obedience, not agreement. It is possible to believe in God deeply and still resist Him subtly. Heaven responds to action, not intention. Tears do not replace steps. Fasting does not cancel disobedience. Worship does not override instruction. You do not need another prophecy. You do not need another confirmation. You do not need another sign. You need to act on the last instruction God already gave you. The next door is not waiting on more information. It is waiting on obedience. In the next 72 hours, God will present you with a specific opportunity to obey something He told you months ago. When that moment arrives, do not hesitate. Your immediate yes will unlock what your delayed yes has been blocking. What comes next will shock you. Do not skip. The fourth instruction. Heaven is stripping you of the need to be understood. Archangel Michael stands guard over your calling and declares their obedience no longer requires human approval. As long as you need people to understand your assignment, you will hesitate every time obedience separates you from the crowd. God is teaching you how to move without explanation, how to obey without defending yourself, and how to stay anchored when affirmation is absent. Not everyone will clap for your obedience. Many will be uncomfortable with it. Some will misunderstand your focus and assume you are changing. Some will question your separation and think you are becoming distant. Others will mislabel your discipline as pride or your obedience as extremism. Galatians 1:10 settles this forever. If I were still trying to please people, I would not be a servant of Christ. You cannot serve two masters. Public approval and divine instruction will eventually conflict. The moment you choose faithfulness, you forfeit the luxury of universal applause, and that is not loss. It is freedom. God is training you to measure success differently, not by likes, not by recognition, not by how many people agree with you, but by alignment. Heaven measures impact by obedience, not visibility. Within 14 days, someone close to you will question the direction God is taking you. Their words will feel heavy. But heaven says, do not be moved. Their confusion is not your correction. Stay the course. Stay until the end. The fifth instruction carries fire. The fifth instruction. Heaven is ordering your steps into a specific divine sequence. Psalm 37:23 declares, "The steps of a righteous man are ordered by the Lord." Ordered steps mean there is a sequence. God does not reveal step 10 if you are standing on step 3. He reveals what is next, not what is final. Trust grows when you obey one step at a time. Skipping steps creates struggle. You can arrive early and still be unprepared. You can force doors open and still miss God's covering. God's order is not restriction. It is protection. Every step carries grace for that level. Skip the step and you skip the grace. From now on, your focus is not outcomes. It is obedience. Outcomes are God's responsibility. Obedience is yours. When you obey, God handles resistance, timing, provision, and confirmation. When you disobey, you inherit stress that was never meant to be yours. This simplifies everything. You no longer have to compare paths, chase voices, or prove anything. You listen, you move, you trust. That is it. Proverbs 3-5-6 confirms, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will make your paths straight. Within 21 days, you will see the first evidence of divine ordering. A door will open that you did not knock on. A connection will appear that you did not pursue. A resource will arrive that you did not request. That is heaven confirming that your obedience has activated the sequence. Do not skip. The sixth instruction is about your future. The sixth instruction. Heaven is declaring that your obedience will break chains for people you have never met. God says, this is bigger than you. Your faithfulness will create paths others will walk on. Esther 4:14 declares, for such a time as this, you were not born randomly. You were positioned intentionally. Your assignment is not just personal. It is generational. What you obey today will echo into families, communities, and nations you have never touched. Your children will inherit the fruit of your discipline. Your grandchildren will walk through doors your obedience opened. Strangers will be healed by a testimony they trace back to the moment you decided to stop hesitating and start moving. The generational patterns that plagued your bloodline, the cycles of poverty, the patterns of broken relationships, the recurring confusion about purpose, those cycles end with you. You are the cycle breaker heaven has been waiting for. Isaiah 43:19 confirms, behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it? The new thing is springing forth through your obedience, not through your talent, not through your charisma,